We have 5 new INCARNONS coming. The Sestra, the Dara, the Okina. Guess you wish Protea Prime was still alive.
Hey, I know. I'm an Okina girl, so it's okay. I'm excited for the Incarnon.
そう今回アップデートでは5種類の新インカーノン、こちらですね、セストラ、デラ、オキナ、シカルス、シバリス、これらが追加されます。
Buy ribbons, buy, sell, buy.
Sell and buy.
And also coming is, don't look at that, is the Companion rework. Companion 2.0 Part 2.
Pablo.
Not yet, not yet.
そうもう一つの調整は、去年も行われたコンパニオンリワーク 2.0 それのパート2が今回のアップデートで出るということで
But you don't want to hear that from us. So let's check back in with Pablo and senior game programmer Grant Stickley.
そうそしてまたして
Hello. I bring you news about the much anticipated companion rework, starting with the part that you're probably the most anxious about, what's happening with Mira. So we don't like the resource boost on Charm. The way it works right now is every 27 seconds, there's a 28% chance for you to get a buff. And out of that, there's a 10% chance for you to get the resource buff. So that means 2.8% chance every 27 seconds for you to get the buff you want. So what happens in practice is players will kill an enemy, they'll see the resource they want drop, and then they'll just wait around for several minutes at a time until the buff comes up, and then they'll pick it up. Obviously, this is not very fun gameplay, it's not very conductive to the high-speed gameplay of Warframe, so we don't like that. The other thing we don't like is that because resources are so valuable, people feel forced to use Mira even when they don't want to. So what we're doing is we're grabbing that resource buff and we're putting it into a mod. This mod will fit into every beast companion, and what it'll do is instead of being a cooldown with an RNG on top of an RNG, it'll just be a single RNG. When you pick up an item, there'll be a chance for it to double the resources you get. You'll see in the bottom of the screen, it'll say 300 rubido, and then next to it it'll say 2x, just so that you know that that was what it came from. Now you're probably wondering two things. One, what's happening with Mira herself now that she doesn't have that? We're going to buff the chance for you to get a buff on her just to compensate her a little bit, and also we're going to buff the affinity part of the buff that she got. And then the second thing you're probably wondering about is, Pablo, a mod sounds great, but my beast companions already have a super tight build. There's no way that I can fit another mod in there, so how am I going to do that? And for that, I'm going to pass it off to Grant, who's going to tell you about all the other changes we're making with companions. I think you'll be pretty happy with what we're doing. Bye.
Thanks, Pablo. As Pablo said, I'm Grant. I'm a senior gameplay programmer here at Warframe. Last year, I worked on Companion Rework Phase 1, and I'm back for Phase 2. Beast modding has always been a bit of a tight squeeze. You've got 10 mods to fit survivability, utility, damage, abilities, you name it. It's a lot, and how we're going to solve this is we're going to take all these attack mods and move them into new special pet weapons tied to your pet. Each of these pet weapons have their own unique stat blocks. So, for instance, your Hero's pet has enhanced critical abilities, whereas your Predicites have various different status types tied to their base damage. Beyond the pre-existing mods like Bite, Maul, etc., we'll be adding a few new mods to help fill out the Beast Weapon mod pool. On top of this, Beast Weapons feature a special posture slot, which lets you equip new posture mods which influence the behavior and provide a bonus to support that playstyle. For example, we've added a posture mod which will prefer to target Xmas enemies and deal increased damage to their overguard. Postures, like melee stances, give extra mod capacity, so you can fit more mods in your build. And speaking
That's
of
actually a
behaviors,
W,
we will be making
to keep their claws and like teeth a separate weapon and stuff like that.
Attacks are more visible and useful. We
Or
hope this
cooking.
helps free up space in your builds and offers you new opportunities to customize your pet's effectiveness in a fight. But Grant, what about Sentinels? Well, you'll be happy to hear that it's not just beasts getting a facelift. Sentinels are getting a broad rework of their weapons. The majority of Sentinel weapons have either outdated stats or redundant designs. Our goal is to make the weapons more interesting and bring their power up to the level of the current king, the Verglas. In some cases, this is just a stats refresh, but in other cases, we have totally overhauled the weapon or just added some cool mechanics to it. I think we've created a lot of cool new options for you. To see more about that, check out our dev workshop on the forums that'll go up after the show. So beyond weapons, we're also looking at companion precepts. A big factor in picking what companion you bring to your build is what exclusive mods it brings to the table. And to be honest, a lot of these were overly niche, pointless, and some just didn't function as intended. To address this, we've got over 20 updated precepts and counting. Some just needed stat adjustments, others needed total reworks. Our hope is to breathe new life into pets which have otherwise been outclassed, such as the Helminth Charger and the Predicites. For more information and a full list of what's changing, check out, again, our dev workshop on the forum, where you'll find all this information. To recap, expect Companion Rework Phase 2 to include beast weapons, new mods, AI improvements and behavior customization, new Sentinel weapons, and many precepts reworked. Last year, we did Companion Rework Phase 1, which addressed companion survivability and introduced bond mods to encourage new builds. I can't wait to see what new builds you cook up this time around. That's all from me, Tenno. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Just doesn't let us go back to the tower, because I've been wanting to go back to the tower without having to play New War for the longest now. I'm just saying. The only shrine thing I could probably think about would be the tower, honestly. I like that Void Relics are now going to display owned and crafted status, because I've been complaining about that. You can go through all my old videos. I swear to God, I've been complaining about that for the longest.
That's it.
Or for
We have a very
1999.
special guest that is